Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. So I was thinking about last week how I attempted to do the motor upgrade for the Promark drone, and I remembered that I still had that footage left from last week that I filmed and that I didn't actually use. So I thought it'd actually be a really good idea to share that with you guys. That way, in case anybody needs to take apart their Promark or rebuild it or in a crash or anything like that. So I thought that'd be kind of an informative thing to do for you guys. I had a little bit of extra time, got my bags packed and everything like that, so I am ready to go to Arizona. So I figured I might as well use the footage. I still have it, and sorry, my cat is bothering me here. So still got the footage, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that here. I'm going to stop the camera. So again, this is the footage from last week on how to remove the motors and take apart the Promark drone. So the only thing is I edited a couple little parts. I filmed a couple little extra things here and there because I changed it a little bit, because this isn't a tutorial today on how to do the motor upgrades, but just how to take apart the Promark and then put it back together. So I hope this is informative for you guys. I just want to thank everybody for the awesome comments that everybody gave me the last few days here. I really appreciate that, guys, and it's comforting to me to know that everybody that watches the videos and subscribes really cares. So I do really appreciate that, guys. That means a lot to me. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. And again, I'm going to be leaving for Arizona here in the next day. So hopefully while I'm there, I can get some footage. If I can't, I'm not planning on anything. So, but if I can, I will. So, but anyway, guys, without further ado, I'm going to stop the camera here, and the next thing you'll see is the camera over on the desk, and we'll start the tutorial for you guys. Okay, so hold on. Hi guys. Okay, so here we are. We're going to start our motors on how to remove them. Okay, so that's the first step, is removing the props. Also, make sure that you have removed the battery out of the drone, just in case you hit the power or something, or hit the board and you don't want to short circuit it out. The other thing too, guys, is if you have the prop protectors, go ahead and remove those. They're really easy to remove. There's just 2 screws right here, right there, and right there. So that's all you got to do, is just remove those. So I don't use those, so I'm not going to remove those. Now, first thing next we're going to do is we're going to remove the legs. So normally with the standard Promark legs on there, you're going to have to remove the 2 little screws and then take off the leg. But since I've got these leg extenders, they don't cover that little hole. So there's 4 nuts that have to be removed, or 4 screws that have to be removed. So just take your little screwdriver again that they provided with the kit, and just go ahead and remove these. Now, I found out the hard way that these screws are just a tiny bit bigger than the rest of the screws on the arms. So when you're taking these screws off for the legs, just remember to keep these separate from all your other ones, because these ones are actually just a hair bigger than the other ones. Now, they don't always come out, so just kind of give it a little tap like that. Okay, so next step I'm going to do is we have to remove these motor covers. This is what covers the bottom side of the motor, okay? So these are actually pretty easy. There is 2 screws. There's one on the top and one on the bottom, and then again there's those 2 propeller screws. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all my prop protector screws. And I think all these are pretty much the same size. so you don't have to worry about mixing or matching these ones. They should all be the same. And no, I take that back. Okay, so keep your prop protector screws separate also from all your other screws. The prop protectors are just a little bit smaller. Okay. And then to remove this cap, it's really easy. You just kind of squeeze it a little bit and then kind of pull up on it. And then once you pull up on it, here's what the cap looks like. It's just a little plastic, kind of like a dust cover basically. So just set those aside. Okay, and then this is what the underside of the motor looks like. Okay. Okay, so once you've got all your motor covers off and you've got your propeller screws off, this is what the motor looks like. It sits in here. So the motor connects right here to the wing, and here's the motor. Now you'll notice on the Promark that all the wires are red and black. With the SEMA motors, they have a red and black on one side, and they've got a blue and red on one side, and that's so you can tell the difference between the clockwise and the counterclockwise. So this is refilmed from last week. So just want to remind you guys that I haven't done the polarity change yet. I'm going to do that when I come back from Arizona. So our next step, guys, here is going to be next to the motor. If you look, try and get in there for you guys. There's a screw here, and there's a screw over here on this side. So we have to remove those screws, and then to get this off here, just use you can just use a small flathead, and they're kind of a pain the first time you take them out, guys. But once you get them out, they just come out just like that. They're just a little standard connector. So just disconnect those first. Okay. All right. Well, once you got those disconnected, then go ahead and use your screwdriver to go ahead and get the 2 screws on each side of the motor. So, and this does not release the motor. All this does is disconnects the body so you can get down to the motor. Okay, guys, so I've got the screws undone here. So once you have that, these screws next to the motors here, they tend to like stay in there. They don't want to come loose. So the easiest way I've seen on another video, what the guy does is go ahead and remove the shell and then kind of tip it over, and then remove the screws from there. One thing I forgot to add at the very beginning, the stickers, they go right over where the shell disconnects. So what I used was just a regular like box knife. It cut through, you can see okay. But what I would do is, if you've got an X-Acto knife, that would probably actually cut a lot better than just a regular box knife. So if you got an X-Acto knife, use what you got. If not, then you know. So okay, so here we go. So we're going to go ahead and actually open up the drone now. So bear with me a second here. So it kind of like when I'm moving it right here. Apologize. Let's see, there might be something. Oh, okay. Actually, I apologize, guys. There's actually 3 screws. I didn't realize there was another one right here. There's 2 next to the motor, and then there's 1 down here. So, that would be why that it's not wanting to pop apart. So let me unscrew those really quick. Okay, so here we go. So now it should just kind of like lift up again. And again, with the stock legs, you'll have to remove those. Because I got these extended legs, I didn't have to do that. Okay, so you'll notice that it just kind of lifts up just like so. Okay, and then if you've got the motors undone, they just kind of come right out. You can leave the motors attached inside if you want, and then pull them off. Either way should work. So I'm going to take my motor off over here. It's being kind of a pain over here. I think that screw didn't quite... there we go. Okay. There it goes. Okay. Alright, so here's what the inside of your Promark looks like. So you'll notice a couple of those screws are coming off now, so that's normal. Those are those ones that now they're all coming out. So just kind of keep those separated. They kind of, once you get everything all disconnected, they tend to start falling off. There we go. There's another one, and you can kind of just push on them from the top, and they just really fall right out, which makes it a whole heck of a lot easier. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we got all my screws and motors and gears. Okay, so I kept the battery in, but if you're doing this for the first time, go ahead and remove the battery. So that's what your Promark looks like on the inside. You'll notice here's the little wimpy antenna. So try and do a shot here. So that's what it looks like. There's the guts. Here's your controller board. You can see here's your LEDs. There's where your motors sit. So I'm going to set this aside. Now I already did this ahead of time before I filmed. So since the motors are all the same color, guys, what I did was I took a permanent marker, if you can see in there, and I just marked the way that the blades turn, just to make it easier for me to know which side's which, because again, these Promark motors, they're all black and white. Okay, so once you get these out, and the way the gear sits in these, so in case you ever need to replace one of these guys, it literally just it sits right on top like that, and then you can just remove it just like that. So, and then you can see it kind of just spins around the motor. All right. So just hold on a second here, guys. All right. So to remove the motor, there is 2 screws. Okay. So you just go ahead and take the motor out. And like I said, before I took this apart before I filmed this, so that's why everything's pre-marked. But once you guys are taking it apart, if you want to mark everything, you can. So keep in mind these little screws here, they're really super teeny tiny. Those are the ones that hold the motor to the actual plastic. So here's what the motor looks like removed. And again, I just went ahead and marked each individual motor before I filmed this segment, so that way I knew which motor spun which way. That way I could put it all back together correctly. So anyway, so that's all you gotta do. So you just take your new motor, and with your new motor, it doesn't matter which way these little wires go. It doesn't. You just so that's what it looks like without the motor in it. And you can buy these pieces here, all these individual little pieces. You just hop on Amazon, eBay, or GearBest, one of those websites, and all of them sell the SEMA X8 motors and parts, so they're pretty much identical. The only thing that's not identical is the propellers and how they mount to here. On the SEMAs, they use a little push pin, and it kind of like it pushes down and it locks in there. So these aren't threaded though. If you kind of notice, you can kind of see that hole is not threaded. So I'm thinking, I haven't tested this out yet, so maybe I'll do that next week. I'll order a couple of those SEMA prop connectors, and we'll see if those can be replaced, because that's just Promark's little thing that they use. I don't know why. They have subtle little differences. Alright, so yeah, so it's that easy. So you just put those 2 screws in there with the motor, and voila, you are done. It's really that easy. And again, to replace the gears, if you've got a gear that's gone bad, these are all the same, so it doesn't matter if this is the counterclockwise one or the clockwise gear. They're all exactly the same on each motor. So you can order these again too separately. I think you can order like a whole gear kit off of like SEMA or any of those other websites. And yeah, so and again, they just they're really easy. They literally just slide right down in there, and then you just make sure, check to make sure they're nice. And I've heard some people put some lubricant on these motors, but these feel pretty greasy, so I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so that's how to tear it apart. It's pretty easy. So you got your top shell right here. And again, before I filmed this segment, ahead of time, I went ahead and I just under each one, I marked which way that the motors flow. And also, you can if you put it like this, you can see which one's the A and the B. So if you want to you don't have to put an arrow underneath. If you want to just flip it over, and you can put B under here, that way you know which one's the B side. However you want to do it, it's up to you. I'm just kind of a little anal when it comes to that kind of stuff, for moving things and putting things back together. I like to just make sure that everything is labeled. That way I put it all back together correctly. I had a small pair of needle nose pliers. I didn't know if I was going to need them or not. And I had some wire clippers. I didn't know if I was going to need those or not. I didn't end up using those. So really the only 3 tools I needed was I have a precision screwdriver, but the tip wasn't long enough to get down into the arms, so I had to use this guy in a couple of spots actually. So use the one that they give you in the kit, unless you've got a precision screwdriver that is longer. You can do that, and this is magnetized, so which is good. That helps with the screw. And then the other tool that I used too was just a flathead, a small little flathead, just to kind of help me pry the motors up. So to get your new motors in, we'll go through that really quick. Okay, so hold on guys, I'm gonna flip everything back over, and I will show you how to install the new motors. So hold on. Alright guys, I'm back. So we're ready to reinstall and put everything back together. So I've got the bottom that had the board in it. Alright, so the first thing that you're going to do is just keep your gears separated from everything. You won't need those just yet. So first thing you got to do is go ahead and take your motor here and just feed your wire through underneath, like so. Okay, so I've got my body marked here, so that way I know which motor goes which. Okay, so yep, so this is the motor I need for this side. So again, this is why I mark these motors, so that way I know which one's which. Okay, so once you pop it up there, and then let's go ahead and take the little wire and just bend it over and just slide it right in there. Okay, so that kind of helps keep the motor steady. So let's see, my next motor over here. Let's see, so this one's gonna be, okay. All right, there we go. Okay. So you're basically just kind of putting everything back in place, but just in reverse order. And again, these little, they just pop. That was top of my top of my drone. So they kind of just sit right there. All right, and now let me grab my body again here. Okay, I've got those two. So now this is going to be. This is kind of where it gets a little confusing. So, yeah, there we go. Okay. So let's see. Yep, okay, this is the motor I need on this side. Okay. Go. Okay. Again, we're going to push our motor down and lock it in place here. There we go. Now, if for some reason the little connector underneath where the motor plugs in, if it comes loose, one of them did on me. I didn't show you guys that, but if it comes loose, all you do is just push it back under, and it just pushes up in place. So you don't have to worry about that. That's pretty easy. Okay. All right, so now we've got our motors all in place. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of flip it back over here. All right, like this. Okay. Like that. So your drone's going to be sitting like that, basically, with the posts. Okay. And then just make sure everything's kind of sitting square. It'll square up once you get the shell back on, and then go ahead and line your shell back up on the top here. Okay. And there we go. And they kind of just, you can kind of see, they're kind of like little tabs. They kind of like interlock. So if you just kind of, you'll hear them snap there, see? There it goes. Oh, got it caught on my hoodie. Okay, so once you do that, kind of hold it like this because it's not connected. All right, and then flip it back over again. So now you're going to have your motors basically like so. Okay, and then so the next step, guys, is we're going to go ahead and install the 3 screws next to the motor. So there's one here, one on this side, and then one down here. So I'll install those 3 really quick on one of them. And the putting back together process here is a whole heck of a lot easier than it was to tear it apart. Okay, so once you've gotten those 3 screws by the motor, now it's time to go ahead and put your motor covers back on. Okay, so these fit on. They're really super easy. All they do is they literally just go back on. If the wires are kind of in the way, you can push the wires to the side a little bit, and then you just kind of push them down a little bit like that. Okay, and then go ahead and screw them on down. Just like that. It's really easy. Okay, and then last but certainly not least, so again, I've got the extended legs, so I didn't have to remove the legs. If you have the standard legs, go ahead and put the 4 screws in first that go in the middle there, and then put the legs back on. Alright, and voila, we're all done. So the propellers are back, everything is put back together, and so she's ready to go. So all you got to do now is just take it outside and test it, make sure that everything is spinning the correct way. So like I explained last week, what you got to do is I had trouble with the motors were spinning in different directions, or all in the same direction, sorry. So what you got to do is, I haven't done the polarity reverse yet. I haven't had time. I'll do that after I get back from Arizona. So once I get back from Arizona, I will test that out, and we'll see if that actually works or not. So anyway, I'm going to pause here for a second. I'm going to bring the camera back, and I'll be right back. Hi guys, and so we're all done with the project there. Hope you enjoyed that do-it-yourself video to take apart the Promark and put it back together, replace the motor or gears or whatever you're planning on doing. So I hope you found that helpful, at least. So again, thank you to everybody that's commented in my videos in the last few days. I really appreciate that, guys. That's really kind of helped keep me going. So appreciate that, and so appreciate all the new subscribers and everybody that watches the videos as always. If you guys feel up to it, if you want to donate some money, there's fan funding that's available. If you enjoyed the videos or the channel, go ahead and give me a like, guys, and hit the subscribe button down at the bottom. If you click the bell, that'll let you know when I've got new videos out there that are available for you guys to watch. I typically, again, upload every week on Thursday, Friday, and sometimes the weekends if I have extra time. I'm going to do another short video hopefully tomorrow before I leave. Just wanted to show you guys my bag and how I pack my drone. I know some people are kind of interested on that, so I'll show you the bag that I use, and or the one that I got, and then how it works. So anyway, guys, let's keep our drones up in the air and flying high, and I'll see you guys on the next video, and thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great day.